This is the video there. Perspective. Doing on video. How it's done. So that's Park Mew's kitchen, my living room. You can kind of see, if you can imagine there was no building, the horizon would be about there. So I'll just explain to you how you do the perspective on this if you wanted to just kind of draw it out. So what you would have is, you want to find the vanishing point, so that's probably the first thing that you have to do. To find the vanishing point, you have to see where all of the parallel lines in any direction is going. So every direction has its own vanishing point. This is going in the same direction as this line, if you can understand me, because they're parallel, so they're going in the same direction. They have the same vanishing point. Most items in this room have that vanishing point because they're all parallel, you know, or most directions are parallel. Stuff that goes, like, say, this table that goes from the left part here to the right, that's a different story. I'll get to that in a bit. But right now, to find that vanishing point, we'll just do it here. So obviously, just take the top of this here, and we know that that line is going in whatever that direction. Yeah, that sounded well like that. So going in that direction, and then because this line here is parallel to it, grab it here and just extend it down and find where the two meet, because they go back to the same vanishing point. Now that would be the vanishing point there. That's what we'd call the vanishing point. And as well as that, the vanishing point is always the horizon, sorry, is always located on the vanishing point. So I'll draw it in there, but that's the horizon there. Imagine if the building wasn't there, the horizon would be there. So everything above this red line is the sky, and everything below this would be the earth. So that's that kind of a quick one. There's a couple more in detail ones here that I'll show you. So this is a bit down lower. Oh, another tip is, if you're holding the camera, if the vanishing point is at eye level, so say I take a photo at eye level, this one isn't. This is about 2 feet off the ground, I would say, maybe 1 foot off the ground. So everything, the horizon is going to be 2 foot off the ground, if you get me. We'll go back to this one. I'll demonstrate. I'll just quickly say. So imagine I was standing in the room. Well, I'd say that that window there is about maybe 6 foot off the ground. That vanishing point is 6 foot off the ground. I held this at just above eye level when I took the photo. So the camera was about 6 foot in the air. And then the vanishing point is also going to be 6 foot in the air. So what that would mean is, if I took a photograph at my eye level, most people's heads, if you were drawing people into this scene, you would draw them with, the circle would kind of go here. Their eyes would be on the vanishing point, because I'm holding the camera at my eyes. And most people are the same height, so that's why. So their heads would be there. And if you had someone close to you, you draw their head big, but the eyes still stay on the vanishing point. So imagine that'd be their big head there. Close person, far away, but both of their eyes on the thing. So that's kind of a quick one. Just move on to this one. So this is about lower. Where can we find the vanishing points again? So where is the vanishing point, you're probably wondering. Well, we have a few different points that we can reference. Every picture on this wall is parallel. Same, you know, remember the roof, or sorry, the ceiling of this place. And then presumably the corner of the room would be somewhere there, and that will go back out there. But so there's a lot of places where you can find it, but where I find it here is actually in the floorboards. It's kind of a nice place. So, you know, trace back the floorboards. They're parallel, we know that. So they have the same vanishing point. Just to cross-reference that, you know, you can use that. That's parallel, we know. Same with the sofa and drawing as well, or yeah, painting as well. So then we know that the vanishing point is there about, whatever, 2 feet off the ground. And if we were going to trace in the horizon line, you know, it would go something like that. It would go across if the building didn't exist. And if you flip this around and you were drawing the picture, so let's say you have all of this done, but you want to do another picture on the wall, well, you just take a line from here and bring it back up the wall and do and then you can use that line. So just reverse engineer this technique. So sorry, the app is just, oh no, it's fixed. Okay, whatever. Probably me show you another one now. Now here's kind of another cheeky technique. We have the building there, and then we have the vanishing point found again. It's kind of nice. Yeah, you can see everything goes there. But imagine I was drawing, right? So this is my painting so far, and I want to add in one more picture on the wall. I'll take my vanishing point, which is here, and I'll extend it out to the wall. So I have my vanishing point. Sorry, let me just grab the right tool. So it's just taking out, it's not responding or whatever. My computer is crashing because this is too intense for it. It's just, the grind is just too real. So anyway, if it'll ever load or however it wants to do it, give it time, we'll give it time. How you getting on anyway? Alright, Jesus. Alright, we're back. Back in business. Grab the line tool, whatever you'd be using a ruler in real life. So the vanishing point is there. And I want to do a new picture on the wall, so an imaginary picture. And we'll do it up that top corner. See that top corner there? We'll just imagine that there's a new picture there. Well, we'll do it so it's there. And we'll say that's the bottom of the picture. And then we'll grab it again from the vanishing point, and we'll say we want the oh jeez, this is still loading again. Look at that, it's a disaster. We're only on 6 minutes. Alright, come on boss. Well, anyway, you get the picture. We'll scroll in, we'll get another red line up there, and then you just connect it, and you've got yourself a rectangle. It's not really going to be a rectangle, but in real life it would be a rectangle. In the painting it's going to be more of a what would you say, kind of a thing that goes like that, not really a rectangle. Here's another thing, just to kind of, well, oh yeah, that's where our line actually came in there, but, so, whatever, that isn't it, but that'll be the top of the painting there, and then at the bottom of the painting, draw up a line there, a vertical line, and there you've added yourself a painting. So, if you can tell this right here is this, except it's kind of a cheeky tip, how to make your drawings more dynamic. So we've got this room, and it's kind of a boring photograph. If you're drawing something, you might want to spruce it up a bit, spice it up, and make it a bit more cooler. So you can kind of tell here, this line goes straight down, and this line goes straight down. But what do we say? These two lines are parallel, and all parallel lines have a vanishing point, and it goes true for even vertical lines. So imagine that this vanishing point and this vanishing point is so far down, because the camera is level. So the vanishing point will be like, whatever, very far down. But if you want to make the drawing more dynamic for scale, you can put the vanishing point downwards pretty close. So imagine this square here is the window, same as this square here, except the vanishing point going down is quite close. So the vanishing point goes up like that, boom boom, you've got the window, and then you've got the room like that. So it kind of creates this more pulled look, and it gives it more space. If I was going to do it with kind of a big thick black line, maybe I would do it like so the window turns out like this. Oh, it's not really going to work. Whatever. Anyway, that's just a quick tip, and obviously then you still have this vanishing point here to do the walls going out and all the paintings. Same this vanishing point here, the walls going out, and then presumably all the paintings would be on this kind of wall. This is actually the back wall. Sorry, this is the most key thing. So this area here, all this that isn't, so that's the window, and then this is the wall, the left wall, and this is the ceiling, and this is the right wall, and this here is kind of this weird shape. That's because this is so high up. That'd be that wall. So this wall here, and it would be very pulled, and it'll look cool. That's why it's one of the a nice little trick. So what if you have a room that isn't straight on? Because right now we're just dealing with 1 point perspective. Here's a 2 point perspective drawing. So you can kind of see again, that's a parallel line, and there presumably from the corner there'll be a parallel line back out. Each of these pictures has a parallel line coming out of it. And even the chair, the top of the chair and the chair there. And the exact same goes for here. So you can kind of see there's a cable in the picture. The cable is going to go out, and And where else can we find a parallel line to that cable? Probably here. That's a parallel line that goes down. So we'll go over to our drawing, and this thing will go down, parallel line, draw it in. Draw another parallel line from here. Oh, they meet over here. That's perfect. They meet over here. So we know one vanishing point is here. Every line that's parallel to these will go like from there. Trace this back from the roof there. Boom. We find it there. What else? The cable. Oh, we take the cable, bring it there. Oh, they both meet there. So that's where we know our vanishing point is. Now, the armchair. It's a bit dodgy. You know, it's a bit wonky. It's not always parallel, so it's going to be a little bit off over here. It's going to probably end up slinging itself over there. But we have the two vanishing points of this 2-point perspective drawing, and as we know, the horizon is actually on the vanishing point. And in the case where you have more than one perspective, the vanishing point, if you have two perspectives and it's flat and not a third going down, because if there was a third here, then this isn't strictly true, but right now, you know, we have two perspectives, draw a line between them, and that's your horizon. So if the building here didn't exist, and it was like before humans ever came, there was no building, and you could see right to the, you know, whatever, the curvature of the earth would be that red line down, and the sky would be that line up. And if there was a third perspective down here, then, you know, you don't, and there isn't a horizon there. Well, it's kind of different. Anyway, that's all for this kind of demonstration.